Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this historic election day. Many of you have already cast your ballot for president and other important elections.
Polls are still open in Minnesota and Wisconsin until 8 tonight, so there is still time to vote. All day long, we have seen lines at many polling places like this at the University of Minnesota. This is expected to be one of the closest presidential races in American history, and people want to make sure that their vote counts. We have a team of reporters across the metro and state this evening. We're going to begin, though, with Caroline Cummings, who's in Washington, D.C., where Governor Tim Walz and Vice President Kamala Harris will be tonight. Hi there, Caroline.
Well, good evening to you, Amelia, from Washington. I'm here at Howard University, where you can see behind me they're putting on the final touches to the stage. This will be the stage for Vice President Harris, who, of course, attended this university many years ago, and Governor Tim Walz, who is the vice presidential nominee. The ticket will be here to greet campaign staff and supporters later tonight here at the center of campus at Howard University, an HBCU that's just 2 miles away. Now, I'm told by a source close to the Walz campaign that the governor is here in Washington, but the campaigning has not stopped. He is calling into radio stations in battleground states across the country, trying to make that last-ditch effort, that last-minute pitch to voters who might have decided to stay home this election or haven't yet gotten to the polls before polls close. So he is trying to convey that message in the final hours of this campaign here. Now, this event has been days in the making. There is a very visible and heavy security presence here. We've got roads blocked off, fences, a lot of police around here, all to ensure the safety of this event, which of course is outdoors. Now, students we spoke with say they are excited about the party being here on their campus and that Harris graduated from their university. And one freshman elementary education major told us that Walz's background as a school teacher stands out to them.
Yeah, that was one thing I was excited about when I saw that. Just to have a voice in the office about future teachers, I was like, I think he might do good for the education department moving forward, which will affect me by the time, 4 years later when I'm entering it as a teacher.
Now, we expect to see both the Vice President and Governor Walz much later in this evening as we start to learn results of whether or not America has chosen to send them to the White House. And for Walz, it's whether or not he will join Hubert Humphrey and Walter Mondale as a vice president to hail from Minnesota. Amelia.
Okay, Caroline, I'll take it. Live in D.C., we appreciate it. Minnesota Republicans are gathering in Bloomington to watch the results, and Derek James is there right now. Hi, Derek.
Hi, Frank. We are at the Radisson Blu at MOA. We're still a few hours away from them opening the doors officially for this party at 7 o'clock, but they're expecting this room to eventually be packed. It looks like they're trying to get the trusses up behind me as that goes on. We did have a chance earlier to talk to David Hand. He is the chair for the GOP in Minnesota, and he says that they've seen a lot of encouraging and exciting signs, not only when it comes to early GOP voter turnout, but some of the recent polls. And the hope is that can affect the state of power at the Minnesota House. Right now, it would need to be 4 seats that would be flipped in order for Republicans to gain that control and then also break up the DFL trifecta that's been in effect in St. Paul for the last 2 years. We talked to him earlier about the importance of flipping those seats.
And the Republicans have to capture 4 additional to what they currently have, not lose any. I think they will succeed in doing that. I think we will have a Republican majority in the House.
I also asked Han how many folks may be showing up here on stage tonight that are in some of those races. He said he didn't know, but said there would be some surprises tonight. And he even joked that, who knows, maybe former President Donald Trump could make an appearance in Minnesota. While that is not likely at all, of course, whoever is on this stage tonight will be here covering it live, not only on WCCO, but also live on CBS News Minnesota. Frank?
Real good. Glad you're there. Thank you, Derek.
And we're also live with the Democratic Watch Party in St. Paul tonight. Members of the DFL will be watching elections across the state as they try to hold on to political control of the state legislature. It's been a busy last few days on the campaign trail for vice presidential candidates. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz held his final rally in the all-important state of Pennsylvania.
For our family, it's to say a thank you, a deep sense of gratitude to the folks who did this work, but a deep sense of optimism, too, just to watch, and a lot of people are trying to wonder, to watch this incredibly talented woman, prosecutor.
Yes.
Attorney General, the largest state. Yes. Can we all just agree there's been no one more qualified?
Walz and his family were at a diner in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He reminded people that every vote counts and it could come down to every precinct in the state to determine a winner.
A vice presidential candidate, J.D. Vance, cast his vote at a church in Cincinnati, Ohio this morning. He then spoke to the media after casting his ballot.
I, of course, voted for Donald Trump and myself. So did my wife, and we also, for all the locals out there, we voted for Bernie Moreno for the United States Senate. And if you want the policies of Donald J. Trump in the United States Senate, then Bernie Moreno is the only candidate in this race who I think is the candidate of peace and prosperity for the United States Senate.
Here's a live look at what we're going to show you, Palm Beach. That's where President Trump's going to be tonight. He is going to be at his place in Mar-a-Lago at his resort. He, of course, used to live in New York City, but Mar-a-Lago is now where he calls home, and we'll make sure that we have coverage of that tonight as well. Meanwhile, our team's out asking a lot of questions, trying to find out what is on the mind of voters as they cast their ballots.
Yeah, the rain is not stopping people from getting out to vote. We saw lines at polling places all day and places like Lakeville, St. Louis Park, and across the border in Hudson, Wisconsin. Campaign 2024 has covered some important issues. Jennifer Merrily is in Eagan right now with what voters there are saying. Hi, Jen.
Hi there. We've been talking with voters after they came out from casting their ballot. And I can tell you there is a lot on their minds today. Some tell me they're feeling anxious. Others say that voting is their right and it's a privilege to be here voting today. There has been a steady stream of people voting here in Eagan, coming in to cast their ballot. People shared the reasons behind their vote. Here's some of what they had to say.
I am very happy to be here and enjoy my right to vote, and whatever happened, I know there's a purpose.
I was just thinking about my daughter and the future that she would want and that I want for her.
Women's rights, public health for all, and just basically, taking care of us, Minnesota One, totally with Governor Walz.
I notice I'm paying for more, and let's say, to be blunt, we have 40 years of Democrats. Let's try again Trump.
What was on your mind as you cast your ballot?
Getting rid of Trump. End of it.
All right, so you heard a range of views from voters, many of them saying this is personal. People can come and get in line before 8 o'clock tonight or until 8 o'clock tonight to make sure their voice is heard here in Eagan and around the state. Amelia.
All right, Jen, thank you.
The race for Minnesota's 2nd congressional district is in the South Metro, and that is one of the most competitive in the state. Democratic incumbent Angie Craig faces Republican challenger Joe Tayrab. Tayrab cast his vote this morning at Zoe Church in Burnsville. He's looking to reclaim the district for Republicans for the first time since 2016. He says he's pushing for change.
I ran because I love America, and I can't sit idly by while I see the American dream slipping away. And so I was just wanted to do something about it.
U.S. Representative Angie Craig held an event this morning at her campaign headquarters in Eagan. She says she is confident in the voters of the 2nd District.
I trust the voters. I trust my constituents. I trust that they're going to send me back to Congress to represent them.
Polling places in rural Minnesota have been busy all day as voters made their way to small-town precincts.
Our John Lordson headed south of the Twin Cities to see what's on people's mind in that part of the state. He joins us now live in St. Peter. So, John, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, Frank, we're live outside the National Guard Armory here in St. Peter, where it's been very steady all afternoon. We arrived down here about 2:30 this afternoon. We've been making our way south of the Twin Cities along Highway 169. We passed by a lot of small towns. One of those small towns was Jordan, where voters turned out in droves, made their way through the rain, a steady rain, to vote at the Jordan Community Education and Recreation Center. We caught up with a number of those voters who told us why it was important for them to get to the polls today.
I wanted to make sure Trump got in. It was good when he was in president, but not so good right now. I love the empowerment behind women and everything going on right now, and I love to encourage that and support that, and it's an honor to be able to vote for a woman in my lifetime. I never expected I would get to do that, so it's been a pleasure and an honor.
I just don't like the way the direction that the country's going. It's been a really rough 4 years, and I feel like Donald Trump is really going to bring it home for us.
I think what's most important is, I think just for our local community is how open the schools are for my girls. So I've got 4 girls, so I'm very invested in how they're going to grow up and, what the community they live in.
Yeah, women's reproductive rights, immigration, the economy, all issues that voters discussed with us this afternoon in Jordan. And of course, we've talked with voters here in St. Peter. We'll hear from them in later newscasts tonight, Frank. But other issues here as well, kind of a wide variety is what we're hearing from people as they show up at the polls today.
John, we'll look forward to seeing you later in the show. Thank you.